Good morning, everyone. Darcy and Christy here to introduce our Parental Bill of Rights with library policy that's been making its way across the state. Basically, we've had so many requests for this policy everywhere I go, from Elizabeth to Denver. People are asking for a Parental Bill of Rights. We've written a very comprehensive one, like I said, with the library policy, and so we wanted to go live today to go ahead and put that out into the public for public usage so that this can be distributed and employed all across the state of Colorado. As I continue to say, the legislator is going to continue to pass horrible bills until we turn around the ratio up there. But we are the stopgap between Governor Polis, the legislator, and you, our families, and our children across the state of Colorado. So with that said, we're just going to give you a brief introduction to our Bill of Rights with library policy. And as you can see, this is printed out in the description for you. And when we finish, I'll give you guys a little bit more info on this so that you can contact us to have us help you in your school districts. All right, so with no further ado, we're going to move on to our Parental Bill of Rights, and you can follow along in the description if you'd like to. So we took a lot of different bills of rights, whether they were congressional. There was one that the House recently tried to pass, as you all know, and we took it from several different school districts, not only in Colorado, but across the state, and really took the meat, the helpful parts out of these policies, and over the course of several months came to a policy that we feel can be used across the state. So to start with, our Parental Bill of Rights has procedures for parents to learn about his or her minor children's course of study, including the source of any supplemental education materials. We also have procedures written for a parent to object to instructional materials and other materials used in the classroom or placed in the school library. As we continue to say, parents are the ultimate authority over their children. You know best when it comes to raising your children. So we want you to have full authority and full ability to raise objections based on your beliefs regarding morality, sex, and religion, or the belief that such materials are harmful. That is in Clause C of our Parental Bill of Rights. We also have procedures pursuant to for a parent to withdraw his or her minor child from any portion of the school district's comprehensive health education that relates to sex education or instruction in acquired immune deficiency syndrome, or any instruction really regarding sexuality that you would like to opt your kids out of. The comprehensive health education as required by Colorado Revised Statutes 22-1-128. Again, this Bill of Rights is a little bit lengthy, so I'm just going to touch on a couple of the bullet points. Here's my cat saying hi. So we have procedures for a parent to learn about and exercise parental rights and responsibilities under general law, including the right to opt his or her minor child out of any portion of the school district's comprehensive health education plan. Again, a right to disseminate information about school choice options, the right of a parent to exempt his or her minor child from immunizations. There are a whole bunch of other bullet points, some of the more important ones. The right of a parent to inspect school district instructional materials within 14 days of an inquiry. That's also written into the second half of this policy, which is our library policy, which Christy will talk about in a second. The right of a parent to opt a minor child out of any materials that do not align with the family's values, including but not limited to LGBTQ materials, sexual materials of any orientation, political or social materials, and anything otherwise construed as offensive. Which could be really anything. Again, you're the ultimate decision maker for your kids. That's what's most important here. We don't really care where you stand. We're nonpartisan in this Bill of Rights. You know, if you want to teach your children politics or whatever the case may be, that's definitely up to you. We encourage all parents to teach their kids as they see fit. That's what this Bill of Rights is about. So clauses 11 and 12, the right of a parent to opt out of any district level data collection relating to his or her minor child not required by law, and the right to access and review all medical records of their minor child unless prohibited by law. Those are two important things that we're seeing come up with House Bill 1003. And again, as I continue to say, we can fight these bills all we want, or we can be down here, boots on the ground, getting districts to opt out of these harmful bills. Another important clause to our policy is the requirement to give parental consent in writing before a school employee may ask a minor child to write, visit, or otherwise communicate with elected officials, including the school board. The reason why we wrote that into there is because we've heard from several parents across the state months later that they found out that their child was asked by a teacher to, for example, write to President Biden and express their concerns about A, B, C, D, or E. We do not feel that our children should be used as political accomplices in any type of game that political teachers are trying to put on them, be it from the right, the left, whatever. You have a right to know if your children are writing to elected officials. So the rest of the Parental Bill of Rights is, a lot of it is regarding library policy, so I'm going to turn that back over to Christy before we come back and close this out to give you guys some more information.
Okay, so we are writing library policy that's going to be inside the Parental Bill of Rights, and one of our members, Samantha Wild, is also working on going through the libraries in El Paso County to find which books are concerning inside of our libraries. So this policy is basically laying ground rules for each school district to follow. The policy is to ensure students have educational rich materials suitable for the youngest audience in the school. It will provide criteria for selection, removal, and replacement of library materials focused on maximizing transparency with parents and community members while meeting students' needs to provide supplemental enrichment in their learning with appropriate materials. Throughout the provisions of these library materials, the Board of Education recognizes that parents hold an essential role in the education of their children and have the right to guide what their children read. And so we wanted to make sure that K through 5 and 6 through 12 have their own set of criteria, because pre-K through 5th grade is obviously going to have different set of requirements than middle school and high school students that will have to learn stuff about art and science. And so they will have to have different selection materials. So libraries for schools of pre-K through 5th grade, no material at an elementary school level shall contain visual or visually implied depictions of sexual acts or simulation of sexual acts, visual depictions of nudity or implied nudity, or descriptions of sexual act, explicit or implied. And libraries for schools of 6th grade through 12th will be no materials in the middle school, high school shall contain visual or visually implied depictions of sexual acts or simulations of such acts, visual depictions of nudity or implied nudity, not including materials with diagrams about anatomy for science, or content related to classical works of art or depictions of sexual acts or explicit or implied. And so the selection, each item selected for the school shall support and enrich the curriculum and or students' personal interests in learning, be appropriate for the subject area of age, intellectual development, and ability level of the students for whom the materials are selected, and for nonfiction resources incorporate accurate and authentic factual content. So per the Parental Bill of Rights, each library shall maintain a list of the material on site and on the school library website that shows what has been selected as well as what is slated for acquisition by each student, so the parents can see what their children are checking out or have checked out. Parents or guardians have the right to review student school records included but not limited to books checked out by their child. And this policy does comply with the Children's Internet Protection Act and all state and federal laws related to the prohibition on pornographic and other harmful materials for minors. So that's what our library policy section of the Parental Bill of Rights will say.
Thank you, Kirsty.
Thank you, Darcy.
Okay, so guys, now it's out there. It's on my Facebook. Samantha, who is on our team, I'm sure when we're done here, she's watching. She'll be putting it into a great YouTube video. But most importantly, what we want you to know is that we're here for the children. We're here for you. It doesn't matter whether you're Democrat, Republican, liberal. I don't know what the other affiliations are these days. We want to protect your kids from political policies. Their kids just need to go to school and learn math and science and English and come home and let you do the rest. So if you need help, if there's something that's going on in your school that you're not quite on board with, again, doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. Reach out to us. The things that are happening in Denver right now are just absolutely horrible. A lot of people feel like they've lost total control over their children's education. It doesn't have to be that way. Again, what I like to continue telling people is local control is huge. They cannot take local control away from us. So Boulder has the ability to write whatever policies they want into their school districts. And we in Colorado Springs, in Elizabeth, wherever you are, Denver, we also have that same ability. That's why communities form. That's why school boards form. That's why districts form, is to have some control over what happens between Denver and their children. So come to us, make suggestions about this policy. Let us know if there's something that should be in it that isn't, or if there's something that is in it that you don't think should be in this policy. And most importantly, go out to your school districts, go out to your board members, go out to your municipalities, your local city councils, and encourage people to take this Bill of Rights to their boards. If you need us to come with you, if you need us to kind of get into your school district for you, come to a meeting, we're more than happy to do that. Like I said, when this video started, we are seeing a huge number of school districts. I don't even know how many districts have expressed an interest in taking this on.
It's been a lot.
Just in the past couple of weeks since we've written it, who knew? Apparently there's a shortage of people in Colorado that are willing to write things, but we've gone ahead and done that for you, so you don't have to do all the heavy lifting on this. And now we're just here for support and to get this all across the state. It would just be so great. How many school districts are there? I think there's like 190 school districts, something like that.
187.
87.
Something.
I mean, let's make it our goal to get this in 90 of them to start this year. So anyways, we're really thankful for all of you guys. You are the parents that are out there making sure that our next generation of children don't go on to continue to destroy our state. So give us a call, send us a message, and we'll be here to help get this passed in your school district. So thanks again, you guys, and contact us.